Hey guys, and today I'm gonna show you this custom LEGO minifigure showcase of LEGO Star Wars Andor Season 2 with the new pieces that I just got from the 75399 E-Wing Starfighter, and this showcase has almost 30 figures, so if you enjoy, please like and subscribe, and let's go. So the way this showcase is going to work is that I'm going to update and expand on my original Andor Season 2 showcases, which you can still check out. So I'll have to make more than one version of a specific character. I'm going to make all the versions of them at once, so let's speedrun all these versions of Cassian. The test pilot version of Cassian, in my opinion, turned out absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite customs that I've ever made. He uses the torso from Skybound Kai from LEGO Ninjago with dual molded arms from the Incredibles that have red on top and black on bottom. He uses the legs from an Imperial TIE pilot. The face comes from Cassian from Andor Season 2 with his normal blaster, and the hair from the BTS set, which is my favorite hairpiece to use on Cassian Andor. In his blue coat from the time that they went to kill Dr. Gorst, he uses the torso from Spider-Man from Far From Home and the arms from Omega along with warm tanned hands, the same face and hair as before. This thermal detonator to explode the facility in which Bix imprisons Dr. Gorst. He also has a medium nougat satchel and the legs from Tina Goldstein from the first LEGO Harry Potter CMS series. My question is, for this specific version of Cassian, would you prefer for me to use the hair from the BTS set or the hair from Anakin Skywalker? Because I think most other versions of Cassian that you're going to see, BTS hairpiece is definitely the better option, but I'm in doubt with the Anakin Skywalker hairpiece specifically for episodes 4, 5, and 6, because in my original showcase, I ended up using Anakin Skywalker's hair. I guess I could stick to what I used originally, but I also really like the way that the BTS hair looks on this custom, so you guys decide. Cassian here is the exact same as he was in my episode 7 to 9 showcase. The only difference is that I use a different face, which you can't even see. For Cyril, I actually completely overhauled him. I gave him a white bow tie. The face from scarred Anakin Skywalker, Kai's original hair, medium nougat arms, light nougat hands, a custom blaster build, and the torso and legs from James Bond. I think this custom turned out way better than the last one, specifically because of the last detail that I added, which is this custom paper trench coat. The version of Cassian most prominently featured in the final arc, I think, turned out great, and it has trivial upgrades. It's just awesome to me, and you can basically buy all the parts from this figure, which I think is borderline perfect, on shelves right now. He just uses the BTS hairpiece, the regular Cassian from the 75399 Rebel E-Wing Starfighter set, and a reddish brown satchel, and I think he looks absolutely perfect. The final scene, that's where the Anakin Skywalker hair really comes into use, because I'd used this Anakin Skywalker hair for a version of Cassian from Rogue One, and this is basically Rogue One Cassian, just with a different jacket. And he uses the torso from Han Solo with the arms from Beskar Mando to get some really detailed arms in dark brown, with the hips and one of the legs from Cole from LEGO Ninjago Possession with a black leg on the other side. The only difference between this Cyril and the Cyril I showed earlier is that this one uses the face from TV Loki and the hair from Bruce Wayne Drifter from LEGO The Batman. This is the Bix custom from when she goes to kill Dr. Gorst. I thought this was one of the only ones I could legitimately upgrade. And also, this is probably her second most iconic look aside from the final scene when she is with Cassian's kid. I still get gut punched just by thinking about that scene. But anyway, the legs are actually from Wildside from the LEGO Movie 2 CMS series. The torso and hood are still from Darth Rey, with the head from Taladurus, olive green arms, and an olive green Mandalorian came from the Mandalorian Tribe Warrior, and a black blaster. This figure, it's basically unchanged from the original one. The only difference is that I gave her those printed legs and warm tan hands. But why would I make a Bix custom when I don't show the Bellatrix Lestrange hair on it? And this is literally perfect. You'll notice that in the beginning of my Andor Season 2 all showcases in one video, I actually gave her the face from Cho Chang, which I also think works great, but this specific face I think works better for the Killing Dr. Gorst mission. I put a version of Luthen that looks exactly like this as a surprise figure at the end of my Andor Season 2 showcase, which I've been mentioning a lot. But either way, this is the same figure as that. You can go check that out. I'm not gonna go over everything again because I've already made kid, he uses the blaster from Luthen. Now that's literally the only difference. The first Roman custom that I made from season 2 had the head from Gilgamesh, which I ended up using for Bail Organa, and hair from Clutch Powers. What was I on when I thought that was a good hair choice? He is basically the same, but the only difference is that he uses the head from Wrecker and the hair from Harry Potter, because those are the pieces that I've been using lately since episodes 4 to 6 for any version of Wilman. He also uses the torso from any regular city minifigure, honestly, just a plaid shirt, with the legs from Tech to get a little bit of detail onto this character. He also includes a silver wrench, nougat hands, and this breathing apparatus thing as an Easter egg to the Rhydonium arc. The Mon Mothma figure I made in this custom minifigure showcase isn't all that remarkable, but I had personal beef with the original version of this figure that just looked disgusting, so I have to remake it. And this time I actually gave her a different hairpiece because this is the version of her from episodes 1 to 3, and for most of that arc she does have a slightly different looking hairstyle. So I gave her the hair from Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Kenobi show, with this face from Bellatrix Lestrange, which is the same place where you can get Trix's hairpiece, but he also uses this baby blue on the inside, black on the outside cape from Lando Calrissian from episode 9. She also uses the flipped around torso from Hydra Man from Lego Spider-Man, with one medium azure arm and the other arm is light nougat. Both of the hands though are light nougat. She has a little wine glass or whatever they're drinking, and she also uses the dress from one of the figures from Pirate of the Caribbean, but this thing ended up on Build a Minifigure and that's where I got it. K2SO is just his official figure from the sets, but as you can see his arms are relatively short, so a guy on YouTube named Brickyard Nation did a little upgrade to this figure. In the mods video that I did for the E-Wing, I asked if I should place these arms with the big claw piece facing up or down. Now this is a bit too thin at the top, and also he has very weak arms, but then the other way his hands would be too big and they just look ridiculously oversized. So I don't know which one you guys would pick, and I honestly don't even know if I really like this upgrade still, but it's certainly an option. I think I'm just gonna keep him on his regular arms. I think these are much better for play, but I think these do look a bit better for display. Leia uses the face and hair from any versions of Leia that have this specific face and hair, with the flipped around torso from one of the Wolf Mask Claw Warriors from Ninjago, a white cape that is basically a Mandalorian cape, but it's just a bit cut up. It was made with tissue paper. I could just take a normal white cape and cut it up, but I only have one, so I didn't want to ruin it. She also has light nougat hands. This thing here that is the bug that they put in Dave of Skolden's office that leads directly back to them. She also uses the legs from a Mandalorian tribe warrior, and that's pretty much it. Well, I said pretty much it. Not that that was actually it for Clea. This version uses the Tina Goldstein hat, the flipped around torso from the DCEU Superman, the legs from Ahsoka from Clone Wars Season 7, some dark blue hips. If you're wondering, this is the version of her from the episode Welcome to the Rebellion. This is my Clea from the final walk that turned out better than the last one. She still has the same reddish-brown ponytail hair and the big oversized red phone, plus the same color light bush gray arms and light nougat hands, but now she uses the legs from Cara Dune, which I think look a lot better than the Tribe Warrior legs, and bring the color scheme of this figure together a lot better with the torso from Cho Chang. I think this looks great. It has a sweater under there with some line patterns that I think work perfectly to represent her shirt from this episode. That took a while, but we finally got to Dedra, and she uses the beautiful looking torso, face, hat, and the little pistol from the figure that was included in the wing set. But there's just one issue. The goddamn non-dual molded legs. This figure does not deserve those horrid, abhorrent legs, and I just gave her some dual molded ones. I know this technically captures a bit less detail, but I do not care. I just want to be rid of those awful looking printed legs forever. Maybe you could swap on these legs to the hips of that figure, but it would just look a bit disconjointed, and those legs are new, so I don't want to ruin the joint integrity. Same with these legs, which are already kind of loose. She also uses this suitcase, which has the Star Path unit, and that's pretty much this figure. Okay, this has to be one of my favorite figures in this showcase. This is an Narkina 5 Dedra, and she deserved the Narkina 5 fate more than anyone who has ever been there. She uses one leg from from Zane from the Lego Ninjago movie CMF. Then the other leg comes from the regular Ninjago movie Zane. The hips come from Bruce Wayne from the Lego Batman movie. The flipped around torso and one of the arms from May, I think is her name, from Lego Ninjago City Gardens. 2 light nougat hands, 1 orange arm, and regular tan ponytail hair. As most of you guys watching this video probably know, I've since acquired a Grand Admiral Thrawn minifigure after I finished up all my showcases. And if you didn't know, I wager you to go watch my Thrawn Trilogy showcase. And that means that I had to buy that overpriced Dual 1 Peridia set. And that set included a Morgan Elsbeth minifigure, which had the hairpiece for Edie Karn. I also gave her this torso to represent her from the end of the Gorman 2 arc, the face from Cara Dune, some nougat hands, and reddish-brown legs. And I also had to give her this bowl. That's literally the only conceivable accessory I could think of for this figure. I also wish they made like a crying face for her. That would be perfect. How in the blazes did it take us this long to get to Vel and Cinta? These 2 customs are some of my favorites in the showcase. I've upgraded Cinta considerably, and even though she hasn't even changed that much, she still uses a black rifle. She still uses the hair from Hunter from the Bad Batch, Makari's face from the Eternals, the torso from Ahsoka from the Ahsoka show, but I've given her black hands to get more of that fingerless glove vibe that she has. Even though I can't quite get that with official Lego pieces, I can still get as close as this figure is right now. With the legs from Echo from the Bad Batch. You know, Lando Calrissian in the episode 9 sets has a collar piece. I just kind of cut that collar in half and put one of the halves on this figure, and I think that just looks pretty good. And her partner in crime, here's Vel. She uses the legs from Fennec Shand, the torso from Sylvie from the first Lego Marvel Collectible minifigure series, black arms, light nougat hands, and the face from Rey, with this black bow tie piece from Bruce Wayne from the Lego Batman movie. I think it ended up looking pretty good to represent her turtleneck that she uses in this episode. She also has a gunmetal gray blaster, a reddish brown satchel, which as you can see broke, which I had to just kind of finesse onto her torso here with the turtleneck on. It's kind of hard, but it worked. And she also has a reddish brown ponytail. Oh my god, how is it taking us this long to get to literally anybody? Krennic here uses the torso from Grand Admiral Thrawn, white arms, black hands, a silver blaster, black legs, a white cape, the face from a Stormtrooper figure, which I think works pretty decently, with the hairpiece from James Bond. As you know, I've been using Cara Rylands' hairpiece, or the piece that I used for Cara Rylands for Krennic's hair ever since the start of these showcases, but I don't know if it works that well. I think having the hairpiece that is used here in the light bush gray color, which actually comes on Uncle Vernon from Lego Harry Potter, I think that would work perfectly. And there's a new Krennic figure coming, the goddamn $1,000 Death Star. That figure has a face print that looks so unbelievably perfect. And obviously the torso is a bit better, but you could just take that figure and put the Uncle Vernon hairpiece on him, and then you could just figure out whatever upgrades you want from there. I think having just Cloris included in the middle is what's preventing us from getting to the interesting stuff. He uses the torso from a random aviator from Lego City, the arms, hands, and hat from Pre-War officers, the face from an angry clone face, the legs from a Mandalorian fleet commander. I obviously have him pointing at Cassian, who is just out of frame here, and he is about to be shot. He also has a light bluish gray hairpiece, and now he has been shot, so he's dead. Goodbye. Devo and Ruta Skolden, if that's how you even say her name, I think both turned out fantastic, and they're some of the most accurate customs I've ever made. Devo uses the hair from Tech from the Bad Batch, the face and arms from the first Superman minifigure, the cloak from Garmadon from the Lego Ninjago movie, this shoulder pad piece, and the legs from a wolf mask claw warrior from Ninjago, and the torso from Golden Boo from Lego Ninjago City Gardens. Ruta Skolden is probably one of the funniest customs I've ever made. She uses this huge hairpiece from Build-A-Figure. This is like from a Lego Friends set, I think. It works. I don't know how much closer you could get. I think this is one of the better options, Charlie. And she has the face from Black Widow, which actually you see is for Dedra. And she also has light nougat arms and hands, the flipped around torso from a knight from Lego Castle, with some Golden Woo legs, which is kind of funny because he used his torso on Devo. She also has a little wine glass, except this time it's orange instead of clear. And she has this this cape from the Backpack bat suit. I put one hole on her neck and the others on her arm to create this really cool effect where the cape looks more like the cape that she wears in the finale. And that's kind of like the look I was going for there, because that's easily the look I can remember the most from her. Remember how in the start of the video I talked about how I was going to build Bix when she kills Dr. Gorst? Well, here's Dr. Gorst. He uses the torso from a Ravenclaw student from Lego Harry Potter. He also uses light nougat hands and one of the faces from the BTS set, the hair from Chase McCain, and the legs from Sirius Black. This face, in my opinion, looks amazing. He has that really sadistic and evil look. Obviously, this isn't supposed to be sadistic and evil. This is supposed to be a singing face. But in the context of Dr. Gorst, you can easily see it as sadistic and evil. And if we turn it to the other side, he has that "I'm your torture for the day" expression. Here's Captain Kaido, who is just Commander Prodigy, with a black Mandalorian tribe warrior cape, and the face from Echo from the Bad Batch. Here are some Gormans, specifically Kara Rylance, using the legs from Trojan from the Knights of Ren, the torso from Ron Weasley from the first Lego Harry Potter collectible minifigure series, the face from Jedi Vader from Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, and this light bluish gray receding hairline hairpiece, with a silver blaster, a black stud with a hole in it to attach these two reddish brown studs to create the blaster that he shoots Cyril with. Speaking of blasters, his daughter, Enza Rylance, has a black one, the face from a random old stormtrooper, the hairpiece from Cassian Andor, the original figure from season 1, the torso is from TVA Loki. Just to give her a bit more visual intricacy, I just gave her these legs from Build a Minifigure that are dual molded with dark tan on top and reddish brown on bottom, just to kind of look like a trench coat. And oh wait, she's gonna die from the KX droids. To expand the Gorman front, we're just gonna use one ISB tactical agent from the new E-Wing, and then the Imperial Stealth Sniper is going to use the flipped around torso and legs from a First Order TIE Fighter. I used to use the heck out of these legs before I got an actual Imperial TIE Pilot. She also uses the face from that Imperial TIE Pilot that I have. She has a black hood, the cape from Darth Ray. She also gets this huge rifle build, which firstly uses a regular rifle, a black stud with a hole, and she also gets this piece here that's like from a toolkit from Ninjago City Gardens that's included in some city sets, and it basically serves as a tripod. I ended up also putting a stamp piece or whatever you call those on the front, and a gunmetal gray lightsaber hilt, which probably tells you that this blaster probably came from Fennec Shand or Cara Dune. It's taken us more than long enough to get to this point. So basically, the final Andor custom that I'm ever gonna make is Erskine Semaj, who uses the hair from Superman from the Henry Cavill version, the face from one of the members from the BTS set. I think this is Jungkook. He also uses the flipped around torso from Tina Goldstein from the first Lego Harry Potter collectible minifigure series. The legs from Ahsoka the White, which is really the only reason I ever made this custom. But I also gave him a reddish brown backpack. Phew! I have just been running my mouth for like 26 minutes straight, almost completely uninterrupted, so please excuse my voice is drier than the humor in Deadpool and Wolverine.